Mishnah over here. In the middle, by the wide lines, it's 3 lines. There's a few Mishnahs on 2 Mishnahs. It's 3 lines from the wide lines. On them, hey, on the base. Actually, we have to go a little bit before the Mishnah. Okay, but the small lines are above the wide lines, about 5 lines up. It says over here the Mishnah Nimtza Samach Asfar. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. The Mishnah said that if the corpse was found Samach Asfar, near a boundary, or next to a city where the majority are Ovdei Kachavim, so then there's no din of Egla Rufa. What's the reason? So the Gemara Diksibli, because the Pasuk says, Ki Yimatzei Chol B'Adama. Ki Yimatzei Chol B'Adama means that you will find it's something. It's not an unusual thing, something that you don't expect. So demos have to go through the process of Egla Rufa. Of a Prat L'Matzu, where it's a common thing, Mahagat mentioned often, so if it's a Goyim, so Goyim, Hagen,
it makes the body that they found makes a difference if it's Jewish or not Jewish?
I think it has to be Jewish.
It has to be Jewish. So if it was next to a city that was Goyim,
no, because then we know it's not that you don't know who it's from here it's a place of murderers. Lots of differences, and also if it's by the boundary, so by the boundary means by the boundary of Eretz Yisrael. So it's right. The other side is Chutzlotz already, so you have Goyim there. Then it said,
because the whole idea is Yadenu l'shafchas adom hazeh. By the Goyim, they surely didn't have to.
Then the Mishnah said, "She'ein bo bezin." Why? What's the difference if there's a bezin or not? Sagt the Gemara, because the beina ziknei ha'ir beleka. State that the process of the Ega Rufa is it goes out the ziknei ha'ir and the bezin. Then it says, "Ein moedin elu ir she'esh for bezin." So the Gemara pshita, kiven the tani ir she'ein bo bezin. Ano yadana they moedin elu ir she'esh for bezin. So the Gemara hakamashvalon kedatanya. Minayin she'em nimtza samach le'ir she'ein bo bezin shemanichan oisa u'moedin le'ir she'esh for bezin. You go to a further city where there is a bezin. Talmud Lema v'lok l'ziknei ir ahi mikol mokum. They take if it's closest to the bezin or not, but they're the ones that have to go out. Now the Mishnah said as follows: Nimtza mechuvim ben shnei eyaris. They measured the area from the body, and it came out exactly between 2 cities, and each city has a bezin and everything. So what do you do now? So the Gemara shnei meyis shtei agolis. Each city has to bring an egla rufa. Divrei Rebbe Lezer. This is Ve'en Yishalayim mevia egla rufa. And as Yishalayim is an exception that if the closest city was Yishalayim, so Yishalayim doesn't bring a egla rufa. Nimtza, it's all the Mishnah. Nimtza Roisha b'makom echad, v'gufay b'makom achad. If his head was never cut off and it rolled, and there's, so what do you measure from the body, or do you measure from the head? is Melichem Haraish Eitzel Aguf. So you take the body and you bring it to where, the head. You take the head and you bring it to where the body is. Divrei Rebbe Elazar. Rabbi Akiva Omer Haguf Eitzel Rosh. The other way around. Me'ein Hoyu Moededim. Now, from what part of the body did they start their measurement? So the Gemara, Rabbi Elazar Omer Mitiburei. That's from the navel, we call it pupik. And Rabbi Akiva Omer Mechaitmai, from the nose. And Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov Omer Mimokum Shenasa Cholo, which is Mitzava. In other words, how was he killed? He was killed with a sword that they slit the neck. So maybe you measure from the neck. So the Gemara, my time of the Rabbi Elazar. What's the reason of Rabbi Elazar why he holds that they both bring Eg Arufa? So the Gemara, Kasava, he holds Efshel with something. He holds that when you have to decide something by measurement, it could be exact. By measurement,
because they use the rope, and it depends on what time of the year. It could have stretched, it could have been longer, it could have been shorter.
Ukreiva, and das steht eher Kreiva. Meint wir viele Kreivas. It doesn't mean after one Karev, but it could be a two Kreivas. Then Yishuayim Mevi Egla Rufa. Why not? The Omakra Gerishta. And the Kasava, and he holds Yishuayim Lenis Chaka L'Shvatim. When they divided up HSO, the Yisrael named
wasn't Yerushalayim Binyamin's part?
That's only by the Beis Hamikdash was.
But the rest of it wasn't.
Yeah. Then we learned that Nimtza Reish from Mokum Echad, that if they're separated, so how do you conduct yourself? So the Gemara by Micah Miflagate. What is the argument? Ilaima Le'inyim Medido. If the nafkamina is when they get to measuring, how to measure, it's a kamifage hamidik tani sefer me'ein hoyimoidedim mikal dereisha labbe medida askina. That is talking about something else. So what is it talking about? So the Gemara Amar Rav Yechanan b'meis mitzvah kaina mekaymer. There was the konas that were made, I think by Yeshua. The Gemara says that one of the, normally there was a cemetery, and every Shevet had his land and had a cemetery. But if there's a mes mitzvah, so he's mekaymer that you buried him right over there. So now, so the question is, what is called the mes mitzvah? Is it the nose? Is it the top? Is it lower? What part of the body? It decides the burial space. That in order to be buried, he's kind of displaced, that you bury him where he was killed. B'mokum echad, v'gufa b'mokum acher, is maglichem haraish eitzel aguf. Divrei Rebbe Elazar, v'Rebbe Akiva Omer haguf eitzel haraish. Now, v'ma'ika mifga, what is the reason for their machlokas? Dr. Azai. Masava, one holds gufay beduchtei nafel, v'reishei denoded v'nafel. One holds that as soon as he's killed, so that's where the body landed, and the head rolled, so it could roll away. So therefore,
bring it back.
You have to bring it back. Umasava reisha heicha the nafal the gufa who derohit azili. That means that this. He's saying that when the person was killed,
he still walked a few steps.
He's walking without a head. You know that there's life in the body yet, so with that little bit of life, he can walk a little bit. But really, where his head fell, that's where he was killed. Now, Dr. Gemara, by Micah Miflagi, and what is this argument telling him? So the Gemara say, Masava, one holds ikechiyusay be'apei, that the main life of a person is in the nose. Umasava ikechiyusay betibure. So that's why one holds you go with the head, and one holds you go with the body. So Marshal should we say Kihani Tanoi, that there's a similar machlokes of Tanoim, where there's a machlokes Mahechen Avrad Neitzer, when the child is created. So from where does it start? Is one holds Meiroshay, that the Yikah starts with the head. V'cheinu oimer mim'ei im mi'ata goizi, that from the stomach of my mother you cut me out. V'oimer steht nizi nizor v'ashlichi, chop your hair and throw it. I mean, and that's the head. The head comes out first, and the head has the hair on it. Abishol mitiburei. Abishol said that the forming of the child is from the navel. And from there, the different parts of the body are like it's like planting a tree. So the bottom of the tree, the bottom root is by the navel, and from there it spreads out. Roots spread out. So the Gemara wants to say that over here you see that one holds it from the top and one holds from the body. So it would be the same machlokes that the Gemara asked. Is it the same machlokes? That the Gemara no. I feel the time Abishol. You could agree with Abishol, but at kan like Ram Abishol Elin Yitzira the Mitzah Vlad Mimsiuse Mitzah. By creation of the Vlad, so it starts from the middle and it spreads out to both sides. But that has nothing to do with the Ritzicha, with the person that was killed. Aval Inyan Chiyusa, but when it gets to where its source of life is the Kula Alma Ba'apehu. Diksiv, Kol Asher Nishmas Chaya, Ruach Chayim Ba'apav.
Is this the machlekes about what's brain dead? Where the person
This has nothing to do with brain dead. Brain dead is a shayla. If the heart is the machlekes and brain dead is the one opinion. The Moshe Feinstein's opinion is that the main thing is if the heart is working, and others hold that has to do with the brain, or what they call the stem, the brain stem. That's a different thing. And Rebbe Elazar ben Yankov b'mokom shenas achol, which is that mitzavore. That's where you made him a chol. Where'd you kill him? You killed him with the cutting his throat. My time of the Rebbe Elazar ben Yankov, nidiksiv loses oischa el tzavore chol rishayim. So you see that the chol has to do with the neck. Okay, now we'll go to the next mission. So after they finish measuring, so it says, Niftaru Ziknei Yishalayim V'hochulahem. In other words, they had to measure, so they measured. Okay, they're finished. And then Ziknei Oseir came from that city, now which was declared to be the closest city. Meviim Eglah Baka, they bring a little calf, Ashele Moshka Ba'ol, that never moved. And remember, the ol is the yoke. It's like a round thing with long boards that they put around the.
When you act in the field.
Huh?
When you use
Yeah,
it.
they put for the behemoth to stay in line. So this keeps the behemoth in line. So it has to be Eger Shalamoshkabal. It never pulled. It never took a O from one area to another area. Alpha P. No. So Ashela Moshkabal. Ve'ein Hamun Paisaba. Usually we know by Kabbonis, if it has a mum, you can't use it. But over here, it's not a regular carbon on the Mizbeah, so mum doesn't pass it. Umarid and Isa L'nachal Eson, and you bring it to a Nachal Eson, and Eson Kimashmoi. Eson means kosher. Now, what does it mean, kosher? So there's two pshatim in kosher. Sometimes Nachal Eson means a stream of water. There's a piece of land that's near a stream of water, and they touch that the Eson goes on the water. In other words, it's a very strong tide that's running, and some say that the land is very hard. When Apapisha Eina Eson, even if it's not mamish strong, is also kosher. Then you take a big knife and you chop it from the back. Okay. Also the place where this thing took place, that place you're not allowed to plant over there, and you're not allowed to work over there. But muta listed shom pishtin, ulanaka shom avonim. It doesn't mean it's not a place that's also to stand over there. When I say you're not allowed to work there, that means you're not allowed to work with the ground. So maybe work with the ground that you're not allowed to do over there. But to comb pishtin, especially they comb pishtin near water because they need water, or to clean out stones. Stones have dirt. You want to have the stone itself. That you're allowed to because you're not working with the ground. V'ziknei oiser er roichsin eshedeim b'mayim mimokam arifa shel ego. The Zikanim from the city, before he talked about the Ziknei Yushalayim. The Ziknei Yushalayim is the best of people that do the measurement. But the people from this city, they wash their hands over there. The Oimim, they say, Yodeinu le'shavcha es adam hazeh. We're not at fault first. Ve'neinu lo'di ro. And we never saw this person, and we don't know anything about this. What's the idea of this saying? This saying, it means, Yodeinu le'shavcha means like, they clean their hands, our hands are clean. That's why they wash their hands. That's the idea. Our hands are clean. Zok the Mishnah. V'chi al datenu also sheziknei bezen shevcha domim. That you have to warn that it's not. What kind of havamim is this? Ella, it means shelebo al yodenu v'patunu b'loy wasn't. That he came to us, we met him, and we didn't offer him any food, and we let him go without any food for the road. We didn't see him and let him go away without our escorting him. And the kainim that they say, Kapel Amcha Yisrael Asher Padiso, Valtit Dam Noki Bekerev Amcha Yisrael. And then in Pasuk steht weiter, wenn ich Kapel Hem Adam. So sagt V'ha Yitzich Elohim v'ni Kapel Hem Adam. That's not a part of their statement. Their statement finished by Dam Valtit Dam Noki Bekerev Yisrael. Now this last thing, the Kapra Madom, is Ela Ruach HaKodesh Me Vasreis, the Amos Ashatasu Kocha, is then Hadom Mesrap Urahem, that when you file this procedure, then it'll be forgiven. Derech Agav, there's in the Mefarshei Chumash, they discuss this thing. What does it mean? And if they gave him a meal, so then they don't have to do Egarufa, or they didn't bagrate him. How did they not giving him a meal or not escorting him? How did that cause this thing to happen? What's the connection? So some Mefarshei Chumash want to say that it's a psychological thing. What's the pshat? When a person is walking in the street, so the ganovim or the murderers, they know how to size up a person. If they see that he looks happy and strong and everything, so they don't start up with him. They usually try to start up with someone that will be easy for them. So think like this: if a person comes to you, and you let him go without food, so he walks depressed because he's hungry, so he's depressed. If you let him go out and you didn't even escort him a little bit, he begins to feel depressed. He feels like, well, they really didn't want me there. Maybe I should have stopped over here. So these things that you didn't do caused that the murderers picked this up. They sensed it on him. That's why they picked him as a culprit. And if you would have walked with him and you would have made him feel good before he left, you would give him food and everything, and he'd feel that he's well prepared for the road. So maybe there's a good chance it wouldn't have happened. Okay, now we're learning in the Mishnah that the Ega Arufa doesn't matter if it has a mum. So I just want to mention first, before we're going to go here, a whole Amud Gemara about Ega Arufa and Para Aduma. What we learn one from the other. I just want to mention these two psukim. In Parshas Chukas it says, Daber b'nei Yisrael v'yikol lecha Para Aduma, or Fora Aduma, Tmima. Tmima means that it has no mum. Asher ein bo mum. Asher le'ol aleh ol. So we have a few conditions in the Torah. One condition is that it can't have a mum, and also that an O never came on it. What does exactly mean an O never came on it? You could teach it two ways. You could teach it that you didn't. Let's say you picked up a O and you put it on it for no reason. So if even no reason, it'll be possible. Or does it mean that you put on an O and you worked with it? So that's not clear over here.
But I think it also means like a leash.
No. O means a
Reuben
O.
once told a story that he had a guy upstate that he had a paraduma. When he came to bring it to them, he brought it with oil on it. He didn't know he had it tied up.
Okay, and by Egla Rufa, the pasuk says that V'loko zikne Egla's basa, Asher ubad ba, that you never use it for work. Asher moshcha ba'ol. Moshcha ba'ol means that it worked, so it carried the O with it and on it. So now we're going to see what these psukim mean over here. So let's look over here in the Gemara. In fact, the Gemara, V'hei mum, we said that an Egarufa doesn't matter if it has a mum. In fact, the Gemara, V'hei mum, Paisel be'eglo, mikava chayma. From where do we make a kavachayma? From the Para Aduma. Uma Para she'ein hashon and Paisel ba. Mum Paisel ba, a Para Aduma, we usually, if we have a Para Aduma, so we shecht it and burn it and everything, when it's young yet. But the truth of the matter is that it doesn't have to be young. It could be even a few years old. So shonim doesn't pasul, but still mum pasul bo. So ego sheshonim paislis ain't a din shei mum pasul bo. That's like Gemara makes a kavachem. So the Gemara, it's not a good kavachem. Shani hasam, it's different because the Omakra ashein bo mum. By the Para Duma state, ashein bo shep freitas and pasuk ashein bo mum. So we say mum paisel, ve'ein mum paisel be'ego. So you can't make a kavachem from there because the pasuk says befreitas ashein bo mum. So the Gemara el me'atoi b'zei v'yehei shar avodas paisless bo. If that's the case, that you can't make a kavachayma, so any other work besides should only state profession pasuk asher mashcha ba'ol. So say elamata say hey shar avodas paislos bo alama Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav hiniach aleh Aida shall sakin, if he had a bundle of sacks, nothing's in the sacks, but he has, let's say, 10 sacks all tied together, and he put it on the animal. Psula, so that passes it. Ube ego, but by ego is acha timshach. It has to mamish go with it, work with it. So the Gemara, Shani Para is different. The Alfinan, all my ego, we learn all from ego. In fact, the Gemara, ego nami teise all mi Para. By ego, that also learn all from Para, and say that mum passos, and for the Gemara, hamiyat achmona ba, state ba. So therefore, you can't learn out from one that the other is pasul. In fact, the Gemara be'egonomic ba used that before that we learned it from ego, but be'ego state echet ba, and for the Gemara. That the way possible avoid that a behemoth that was used for the Beis Hamikdash, it doesn't matter if it worked. But by ego shaloi ubad, there was never worked with it. But one of the board teachers teaches us that dafka over here, if it was worked with, it's possible. But by kachim, it's not possible.
So a carbon, you could bring a carbon even though you work with the animal.
In fact, the Gemara, avuda, kachim to possible avoida. Sakadai techamina, I would think, leisei bekavachayim me'egla. That we should learn that other kachim from egla. And we'll say, my ego she'ein mum paisel bo, avoida peselas bo, kochim she'mum peselas bo, ein adin she'avoida peselas bo. So we don't need a limit for that because we have a kavachayim for that. And for the Gemara, the kavachayim is no good kavachayim because ikalu mifrach, myra ego she'kein kshanim paisel bo. Ego has this chumrah that it has to be only under 2 years old. So the Gemara, what kind of kasha is that? Otto kachim mi leka de posli bashonim. By behemoth for a korban, it also there's a requirement of 1 year, 2 years. And for the Gemara, ki itzur kro v'hana kachim de posli b'ushonim. In other words, there is kachim that shonim does passel, so then you can make the kavul chayma from egla. So the Gemara bekachim that possible avoda mehocha nafka. Is it do we learn from a kavul chayma that kachim avoda doesn't paskel? Mehosam nafka. We learn it from a pasuk. It states Iveres, a Shava, a Choretz, a Yabeles, a Gorov, a Yalefes, Lesakriva, Eila, Lashem. Now these are not avoided, these are different. So Eila Iyat Makiv, Avat Makiv, Kachim Shenevdo Behem Avoida. These are like sicknesses. So tomorrow Itzach we still need the kavul chayma. Sakadat lachamina hanimili the ovid behem avoidus heta. Avol avoidus isa ema. I was realistic. There's two types of avodah that you could do with the animal. There's avoidus heta that you use, let's say, to plow the field, or where you mix it with another animal. So it's a question of claim. So maybe you'll say that for that we need the so tzricha. So we need a kavul chayma. So the Gemara v'hon nami mehocha nafka. We still don't learn that mum is avoda doesn't affect it. We learn from the pasuk umiyad b'neicha when you take a korban from a guy, lo sakrivu lahem lechem alkeichem mikol eila iyat makriv. At the mark kachim shenekabem avoda. So the Gemara, it's a sakadat chamina hani mila hechi the ovid behen kishen chulin. When is it kosher if you did avoda before you made it hegdish? Avo ovid behen kishen kachim a militzri. So tzricha you need the limud that that is no difference anyway. It's even if we did avoda, it's kosher. Okay, we'll stop over here.